So once you have all your parameters and settings set in your file, you can then move forward with design of your network. We could do this a couple different ways. We could do it by using the draw command. So this is useful in plain vanilla AutoCAD, any AutoCAD platform, or in Civil 3D. We can also do it using our pressure pipe networks that we use in Civil 3D for PI, culinary, irrigation lines, things like that. And we can apply PressureCAD to those pipe networks. For this first example, we're going to use the draw commands. Again, this can be done in any AutoCAD platform, vanilla AutoCAD to Civil 3D. Here we can choose to import EPANET and export EPANET. So if we already have a model or an existing model that we're adding to, we can choose to import that EPANET model and finish it with PressureCAD. Same goes for the export. We can export this out to EPANET if someone needs that deliverable. For what we're going to do initially, we're going to go ahead and do the draw node and the draw water supply. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm in Civil 3D. Again, we can just use AutoCAD. I do have a surface here. I'm just going to go ahead and place a few nodes and pipes. So we're going to go ahead and do draw pipes and nodes. And we're going to be presented with a dialog box. This dialog box will allow us to set some parameters here. We can give it a description. Maybe it's an existing pipe. We can give it a description. Anything that's highlighted in yellow is mandatory field. So for example, diameter, we can choose between 1/8 inch pipe all the way up to 88 inch pipe. We can set the roughness on it. We can set the initial status, open, closed, CV, and we can also set the loss coefficients. The items below, we have the EPANET flow, velocity, so forth. Those will be populated once we choose to analyze our system. So I'm going to choose the default, 8 inches. I'm going to select OK. And then I'm going to go ahead and just place our node. I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to place our node here on this side of the road. And as I place that node, it knows that there's a surface. So although I'm using just the stick figure commands, it will read the Civil 3D surface and the surface elevation. I'm going to go down the line. I'm going to place a couple other nodes. Okay. So once we select that, again, we can draw pipes and nodes. We can draw by nodes, by pipes. We can kind of continue out through our development in this case. So now I'm going to draw just nodes. Instead of picking pipes and nodes, I'm going to place a few nodes and then connect them in a little bit. So now let's go use the draw node command. And I'm just going to place a few of these throughout. Okay. And as we select that node, it's going to pop up what type the node is. So is it a hydrant? Is it an outlet? Is it a sprinkler? We can change those at any time. Again, give it a description, give it an elevation, or let it draw that elevation from the surface. Base demand patterns if we have them defined, and hit OK. So we place just a couple more of those. Here's another node. And then going to connect the nodes with the pipe. So let's just choose our draw pipe command. So again, we've now looked at 3 of the commands in here: draw pipes and nodes, draw nodes, or draw pipes. The draw pipe is just going to simply allow me to select one node and select the second node, and it's going to put a pipe in. So let's do that for the rest of these. So once we are done placing our nodes initially, our nodes and our pipes, we can draw a water supply. We can add in a water supply in the form of a tank or a reservoir. We can draw control valves, PRVs, so forth, and we can also draw pumps. So let's go ahead and place a water supply. In our ribbon, we have choose our type, reservoir, or a tank. I'm going to go ahead and choose reservoir. I'm just going to place one out here, just anywhere out here, really, just to place it. Once I place that reservoir, it's going to give me a dialog box as well that we can fill out. In this dialog box, we can give it an ID, we can give it a description, we can give it a total head, we can give it a head pattern if we chose to, and go ahead and select OK. And then again, we can select a pipe, and let's just draw, how does it get from node to node. We'll just connect our reservoir with our first initial node. Okay, if we chose to draw in a control valve, if I select that, we have a few different options for those control valves. Okay, what type of valve is that? We've got pressure reducing valve, we've got pressure sustaining, pressure breaker, flow control, throttle control, and a general purpose valve. We also have some settings that we can put in here, as well as a diameter, loss coefficient, and whether that is open or closed. Okay, so many options within PressureCAD for things like that. And all we do at that point is pick the upstream node and the downstream node. I select one. It's going to place that in there. Okay, we also can draw pumps. Pretty straightforward. I'm not going to get into that. We can go ahead and do that. At any time for our system, we can select the panorama. So here under Edit, we have a few options. We're going to first explore the panorama, then we're going to just quickly look at the different edit options. Panorama is great. I think that's one thing that's going to set PressureCAD apart, is being able to look at your system as a whole and zero in on some of those places that may have some issues. So let me select the panorama command. Okay. The panorama is a simple dialog box. It'll help us show our nodes, reservoirs, tanks, pipes, pumps, valves. At any time, you can go and select refresh, and it's going to populate that with all of the nodes. We can easily edit them here. We can change our node types here as well. So it makes working with these models extremely simple and in one place here. We could also apply surface elevations, and it's going to read that surface to where we can just apply those elevations to all the nodes and select OK. Okay. Select them all here. Okay. We can key in demands. Maybe let's just do 400 for all of these. And this populates right back to our model. Same with reservoirs. We refresh that. It's going to tell us information about our reservoir, tanks, pipes. Refresh that. There's all of our pipes. We can change sizes here as well. So very helpful thing here. When we run our analysis, if it does not meet our minimums, it is going to highlight these and show us which one. And we can simply right click on them and select zoom to go to the node. So when you're talking about these models, these systems with hundreds of nodes and hundreds of pipes, that's a very helpful tool, is to be able to right click and zoom right to that. Some of the other edit options in here, for example, this pipe. We can split the pipe. It asks us to select the line to break, and we can just simply select here. And you can see that little red X going along with us. Looks like my cursor. That'll allow us to split that pipe at any point where we can maybe insert a node or a pump or something. We have edit water source. So I'm going to go ahead and select edit water source. Again, anything that we have in this drawing, we can select edit, select our source, and we can edit those parameters. So I can edit them in the panorama, or I can edit them on screen. Same with any of our nodes, and we also have edit our pipe, where I can adjust all those pipes. So very simple layout tools, very simple editing, and the power of that panorama I think is going to really help. So our next step at this point is to make sure we have the right information set in here, and then we're going to run the analysis.